Can we take only one more question? Back. Thank you.
Everything you've been saying is, the ideology of it is, I don't think any of us can disagree. But don't you accept that it's the way that our MPs have behaved over the last 18 months is the reason this question is being asked in the first place? We do vote, but we want some accountability, we want some honesty, and we haven't had it.
Can I partly answer that and say that's clearly not entirely true, because Ivor's question dealt with the beginning of the war in Iraq. He dealt with a speech that Gordon Brown made, I think, more than 2 years ago.
3 years ago.
3 years ago, and he spoke about government saying there'd be no more taxes than they were, and that was a lot more ago than that. I take your point that it makes it worse, but you've got the floor now. Do you want to ask a question of any one or more of the candidates?
It's difficult to ask a question without doing a personal attack, but it just astounds me that it can all be said when we know how corrupt the House of Commons will be, and I find it astounding that you expect us to take our time to vote for you.
Yes, can I just say, we've only got through what I think 9 or 10 questions. I had 42 questions, and to my surprise, there wasn't a single one on any of those issues at all.
Have you answered?
It's a fairly general waffly type answer. If you feel up to that, Sandy, then please go ahead.
I don't want to get in any way into personal details, but it just seems to me that whatever happens in this election, and we're all going to be telling only part of the truth in this election, but the truth is just too one. And I've said that at various meetings around the city and down in London and so on, that we know there are going to be incredibly tough decisions that need to be made after this election. Tough decisions on tax and tough decisions on public spending cuts to get us back into balance and into shape. And people are going to only take that pain when it's dished out if they have respect for the people who are sitting in the House of Commons and making those decisions. And that means actually that I think we have got to start with the pain with us first. And one of the things that my party says is that there should be fewer MPs. We also would like to see less government and smaller government. And the last manifesto, whether it be in this manifesto, we were going to abolish the then DTI, what is now part of Business Enterprise Regulatory Reform. When I phoned the civil servants at DTI to tell them we were going to abolish them, they said that's all right because we're sending the Treasury up to Liverpool. But people need to see that the people at the centre are taking pain, and we'll need to have all the expenses just swept away, a whole mess of them, because there is absolute disgust and rage, and you are quite right. When you're on the doorstep, there is palpable rage from people about their perception of what has happened over the last 2 years. And nobody has been perfect, no party has been perfect. Some have been better than others, but it is, I think, as a class, if you talk about the political class, we are starting from ground zero or ground negative. And given the toughness of what we're going to have to do, whoever wins the election, I think we should all be fairly ashamed of what our parties and representatives have done.
Well said, Sandy. Thank you for that.
Can I make a comment, please?
Yes.
I was appalled by the recent disclosures of senior members of my party. If you think you're all like that, think how it feels for those of us who for years and years and years give our time, not for big expenses, nothing like that at all. I've been a district councillor for 22 years now. That's had an impact on my life. I've only done it because I've been driven by wanting to make a difference. Now, if you feel appalled, please understand people like me also feel pretty betrayed. So I wouldn't be standing here if I didn't have that conviction that things can be better. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, much appreciated. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I've never ever watched to the end of the question time. So I haven't got a clue what actually happened at the end. So. Fight! thank these five ladies and gentlemen for coming along and telling us their views, their opinions, and certainly I found it extremely interesting, so thank you very much all.